Russian forces launched a massive overnight bombardment of Kyiv using strike drones and missiles, killing at least 10 people and wounding at least 56, including children, as explosions echoed across the capital. The heavy barrage affected 5 districts of the wider region, with regional governor Mykola Kalashnik confirming coordinated strikes involving a wave of ballistic missiles and drones. The assault followed President Volodymyr Zelensky cutting short an official diplomatic visit to Dublin on Wednesday, after intelligence reports explicitly warned that Moscow was preparing an impending large-scale strike on the capital. The latest escalation comes as Kyiv steps up its own long-range drone campaign deep inside Russian territory, increasingly targeting energy infrastructure and border sector military installations. Moscow also said its air defenses had intercepted hundreds of drones from Ukraine in recent days.
It is important that no further cuts are done to cohesion policy, Bulgaria's Deputy Prime Minister Atanas Pekanov told Euronews ahead of the annual EU budget conference in Brussels, where member states are set to fight for cash. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz called the EU long-term budget unaffordable and demanded a 400 billion euros cut, particularly for fundings of cohesion and agriculture.
Cohesion policy is not a gift from some member states to others. It is an investment in a functioning single market. It makes the infrastructure that then enables firms across Europe to extend, to get new markets, to get new consumers. It also creates new opportunities for European industries.
On another note, Pekanov gave an assessment of his country's economic outlook 6 months after Bulgaria joined the Eurozone on the 1st of January.
In the longer term, the euro will bring benefits to Bulgaria, strengthened creditworthiness and strengthened credit ratings, more trust in our country on financial markets. In the short run, however, there have been some, I would say, pressures on the inflation side. Unfortunately, with the start of the war in Iran, this also contributed. One could say that some firms coordinated and increased their prices. This is something we are worried about.
He said Sofia is investigating whether there have been malpractices in some sectors and is finalizing the recovery and resilience plan.
At the World Cup, England, Belgium and the United States all have made it through to the next round. In Atlanta, England came close to making an early exit against the Democratic Republic of the Congo. With the DRC scoring at the start of the game, England was behind for much of it. That was until striker Harry Kane scored twice to turn the game around. Also, Belgium produced a dramatic comeback. In Seattle, they faced Senegal and found themselves 2-0 down. With just a few minutes remaining during regular time, Belgium scored twice. With the game going to extra time, Yuri Tielemans scored the winning goal from a penalty, completing the 3-2 victory. And in Santa Clara, the World Cup co-hosts secured a 2-0 win from Bosnia-Herzegovina. Folarin Balogun opened the scoring before being sent off in the second half, but Malik Tillman sealed the win with a free kick goal.
In France, following a record-breaking heatwave linked to nearly 1,000 excess deaths, hospitals are preparing for another spike in temperatures forecast for the middle of next week. During the previous heat wave, healthcare facilities were under severe strain, facing a major surge in admissions and a lack of equipment suited for extreme temperatures, as seen here at Paris Saclay Hospital.
It's been a horrible week for the whole staff of the hospital, not only for nurses and physicians, but everyone who's working at the hospital was working on a 24 hours a day basis, because we had to find new solutions in a very short delay. We thought we were ready. We were not, actually. We already earned some lessons from the event, which is first, of course, to adapt the buildings. So we start with climatization. We start with changing in the way we are keeping some of our medicaments in low temperature areas. So that's what we did last week. We also changed some services which were not, which were very, very open to these high temperatures. So it starts today, for instance. We are moving service for elderly people in this new hospital.
Shower stretchers usually used to bathe people with physical disabilities have also been requisitioned.
On en a récupéré pour la canicule, s'il y a besoin, tout à fait. Comme la baignoire on a récupéré aussi pour le SMUR, on met des glaçons dedans, d'accord, on met le patient dedans qui est en hyperthermie.
Sébastien Lecornu announced an investment of 100 million euros starting this summer, earmarked for healthcare facilities most vulnerable to the heat. The French Prime Minister has also promised 30,000 air conditioners, with the first deliveries scheduled for early next week. The Green Party, which considers these measures too late, plans to file a motion of no confidence against the government soon. Government spokesperson Maud Béréjean responded on Wednesday, stating that such a measure will not stop the climate change.
The Portuguese Institute of the Sea and the Atmosphere has placed 12 of the 18 districts of mainland Portugal under a red warning from Thursday until at least Sunday due to persistently extremely high temperatures, both maximum and minimum. A further 6 districts on the mainland will be under an orange warning. The IPMA states that a prolonged period of very hot and dry weather is forecast, with maximum temperatures reaching between 35 and 41 degrees Celsius across most of the country. Minimum temperatures will exceed 20 degrees Celsius, with some regions, including Greater Lisbon, expected to see temperatures remain between 24 and 28 degrees Celsius for several nights. This spell of extreme heat is expected to last for at least a week. The authorities advise against exposure to the sun and recommend wearing sunglasses, a hat and sun cream, as well as drinking plenty of water.
This year has been filled with so many really meaningful moments, not just in my career, but in my life. And I think it's so aligned that this is the time that I am announcing this Barbie, because my Barbie really represents my career in entirety, and specifically this moment from Something Beautiful, my latest album. We spent so much time really digging into the details. That's something that wasn't just important for me in designing the Barbie, but that's something that's very important to my own creativity and the way that I represent myself. And she did not miss any marks when it came down to the design of the custom Alaya, the hair, the accessories, the makeup, structure. Every detail was purposeful, and we spent a lot of time perfecting her, not to be perfect, because that wouldn't be representative of me.
This is the American Forces Network in Frankfurt. You've been listening to the Tiger Ray.
Verstehen Sie. Stalin oder Mickey Mouse?
You and your father make a great double act.
Sie haben so wundervoll über die Musik unseres Großvaters geschrieben wie sonst niemand.
Ist der berühmteste lebende Wagnerianer der Welt?
Sie meinen nach dem Ableben eines gewissen Adolf Hitler.
This whole trip was a terrible idea.
There was one moment, Thomas Mann's return to Germany in 1949, which seemed like a good context for a film, especially given the family things that happened in the Mann family, the love triangle with Klaus, Erika, and Thomas, and that kind of coincided with this amazing moment in history. So I thought, okay, maybe that could be an interesting film.
I didn't know so much about Erika Mann.
But the fact that she was writing and acting and racing, those were the things that were very important to me, the many languages she spoke, that she really was a citizen of the world, that she was very much in a deep connection to her brother, that she was capable of love, and that she decided to leave everything she did behind after the death of her brother in order to be with her father and to help him fulfill his, chosen duty in life. That was enough for me.
Vielleicht eine letzte Reise.
Ich will nach Hause, Papa.
Wo ist das?
Will es denn das Schicksal, dass unsere Existenz symbolisch wird, so haben wir uns diesem Schicksal zu stellen. Nun also, ich stelle mich.